Well, they say that you're a fool. You believe in magic.
I'm Paranormal Pete, and I'm on a journey to seek answers to the questions that have crossed all of our minds. What happens to us when we die? Is there an afterlife? I'm a regular guy who discovered the gift of psychic mediumship in my 30s. My passion for history and the unknown have put me right here, right now. My mantra for anything paranormal is, we don't know much and anything is possible. Join me as we find our way through the stories, evidence, and experiences of the paranormal and beyond in search of answers, even if that leads to more questions. Are you with me?
Some hocus pocus filling up inside. And I think somebody's making.
Welcome to the Paranormal Pete Show. I'm your host, Pete Orbea, and it is January 14th. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're on the sacredspiralnetwork.com, or you can look me up, the Paranormal Pete Show, on Facebook. It's Facebook.com/Paranormal Pete Show, and or on my YouTube. I don't know. There's lots of places to find this, but thank you for tuning in tonight. I got a very special guest tonight, a good friend of mine, Joanne Clarkson, is going to be joining the show here shortly. We're going to have some fun conversations, may throw some readings in there. But I always just love talking to Joanne and getting her perspective on work with spirit. And, you know, she's a wealth of knowledge and experience and just fun to talk to. So you guys are in for a good one tonight. So again, we're on the Sacred Spiral Network here at sacredspiralnetwork.com. Big thanks to Kelly Brickle and the network. She's kind of making it all happen behind the scenes. Very cool. If you guys want to say hi and comment maybe where you're from, and throughout the show as I can, I'll put the comments on the screen. We got Janessa checking in. Hey, Janessa, thanks for watching. And we got Heidi checking in from Boulder, Colorado. Right on. Hopefully it's not too cold there. Probably is this time of year, I guess. And Taryn Kerper, a former guest on the show, welcome and thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and say hi, and you can ask questions, join the conversation as we kind of talk about different things. And like I said, I'll try and get everybody's comments that I can. I'm on the ones and twos here, so we know how that goes sometimes. We got Eveline. She's, hi, Pete and Joanne. Hello, all beautiful souls tonight. Welcome to the show. Charlene, thanks for watching. Hello. We got, friend of the show, Mary Phipps checking in. Good friend of mine, Jason. Hey, guys. And Owl and Ren Tarot. Hey, guys. Excited to hear from both of us tonight. And, of course, our resident 49ers fan. I'm up in the Seattle area. Jason Hassler. And I'll just say, go Hawks. You're not going to beat us this weekend. Many people checking in. Deborah from Olympia, thanks for checking in there. Kitsap Crawlers, hey guys. K Wheezy, hey, wow, we got lots of people checking in. Tim, all right, good friend of the show there, Tim Martin, thanks for watching, guys. All right, and from California. All right, so we got some people from all over the place. This is great. Good friend of the show, Katie checking in as well. And another good friend of the show, Carolyn. Hello, guys. Thanks for watching. It must be Joanne. All these people are checking in. Thank you so much. And so got a lot of things coming up. We got a lot to get to here, so I'm going to kind of jump in a little bit here. So my next show is going to be on February 18th. And then March 18th will be my next two shows, just doing once a month. Wednesdays, usually right about mid-month. And maybe someday I'll increase that, but for now we're just doing once a month. And hopefully that's a good pace for everybody as well. I've got some upcoming Ghost Walk tours here in historic and haunted Port Gamble. I've got one coming up February 7th and March 6th. And I've also got some special investigations, so it's a chance for the public to come and see what a paranormal investigation is like, or to be able to just get into a really great place, the Walker Ames House in Port Gamble. My next special investigation is this weekend, sold out, and then I've got one on February 21st, March 7th, and April 25th. And you can get all the information on tours and investigations with me at portgambleparanormal.com. You can get tickets and dates and everything there. And we got somebody checking in from Tennessee. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying up late and watching. Appreciate everybody on the East Coast and Central Time staying up late with us. Also coming up, guys, we've got the Oregon Ghost Conference coming up, OregonGhostConference.com. It's a conference I've been attending for a really long time, and our guest tonight, Joanne, and her husband, Jim, also attend that conference. That's March 27th through the 29th. And that is OregonGhostConference.com. It's on the Oregon coast. It's a really fun conference, great place to meet a lot of really great people. Glad you guys are all saying hi to each other in the comments. That's awesome. We have one person probably having maybe their morning coffee from UK. Thank you for checking in. And I'm not sure I'll say your name correctly. Is it Nir? Thank you very much from the UK. Appreciate you. Got another event coming up. It's a virtual event. It's going to be held on March 14th and 15th, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on Sunday, March 15th, and it's part of the Soul Symposium. It's called The Art of Investigation, and that's artofinvestigation.org. So check that out. And my special guest tonight is also going to be doing that event as well. Are you guys seeing the theme? They seem to work together often, and it's great. But that's artofinvestigation.org. Again, that's March 14th and 15th. So check out the website on that. I'll try and put that up in the comments at some point here. And very excited. I can't fully announce it yet, but there'll be something exciting coming up on Bainbridge Island. Looking at June 5th. So we've got people asking to share the event, and we've got Michelle checking in as well. Hello. Jason, will you share the event? I'll try to type and talk, but maybe I'll wait till towards the end a little bit. It's like walking and chewing bubble gum at the same time, talking and typing. But yeah, I've got an event coming up early June. I'll hopefully be officially announcing that very soon, but you guys heard it here first on the Paranormal Pete Show. Well, let's bring on my guest tonight. Again, somebody I met, and I don't know how many years ago, a few years ago. Became fast friends. I really respect and admire the work she does in readings and helping people, and she's just so respectful to everybody, and I just really have always liked how she does her work. And so I think that's maybe why we became fast friends. But her name she's psychic medium Joanne Clarkson, and she's read palms and tarot and performed mediumship readings since she was a child, taught by her grandmother, a professional psychic. Throughout her life as a wife, mother, teacher, librarian, and finally a hospice nurse, she's always continued her intuitive practice, believing it to be an important part of her loving service in this lifetime. Clarkson enjoys sharing her knowledge and insights through her writing. Her most recent books are Finding Your Spirit Guides in 2025 and Psychic Palmistry, A Guide to Intuition in 2024. And she's from Port Townsend, Washington, living there with her husband, James. Let's give a big Paranormal Pete Show welcome to Joanne. Woo! Hey, Joanne. I need to have like an audience, like a clap track, yeah. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking time and space to jump on here at 8 o'clock at night, midweek, to talk about psychic stuff and spirits and the paranormal and all the good stuff there. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm so honored and pleased that you asked me. This is my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah. And I was thinking, We actually met through a mutual friend, Mike Beers.
We
And
did.
we actually first met by having you on my show like 3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. And but it's been a cool journey since. We got a lot of people checking in, saying hi. Crystal, thanks guys. Jason, oops, if I can get things to work right. Jason, which you met him at the Port Gamble Ghost Conference,
We
and our
love the Port Gamble Ghost Conference.
yeah, well, thank you.
Favorite
The
things all year. We just
I'll send you a check later. That's coming up November 6th through the 8th. And our good friend Brian Blackwood jumping on. Hey, Joanne and
Michael,
Mike
there's
Beers.
Michael.
There's
Hi.
Michael. Yep.
Hi.
Hey, guys. Lots of people checking in.
Hi.
It's afternoon wherever Kiana is. I don't know what that means. And then we got Ren checking in, saying hi, Joanne. So Kiana's would love a reading if being done. Much love. Okay, well we'll see. We'll see what we can get into here. There's some good comments here. We'll get to some of those here in just a second. Can you, for those who don't know you, I just read your bio, but tell us a little bit about your work and just your experience. You've got so much experience and you've seen a lot of different things, experienced a lot of different things. But for those who don't know you, just give a little bit about the work you do and kind of where you came through all that.
Well, in a way, I guess, fortunate in that psychic work kind of came naturally to me because nobody in my family thought it was weird. I have so many friends that have tried to do this work that they were very imaginative children and were shut down. And of course, like I mentioned, my grandma was a psychic medium. I'm not anything like her though. She had all, well, no, she had precognition. She had a lot of gifts that came through her that she didn't know how to handle. She was a very troubled soul and very superstitious. Oh my God. And how should I say? We grew up reading cards. She read playing cards. And whenever anybody had a question or anything was going on in the family, you drew a card. That's what you did. And so I grew up knowing that's what you did. And then the cards would tell you not necessarily yes and no. And of course, I never tell yes and no questions because that's not how spirit speaks. They want you to answer. It prompts you to ask a different question, think of things in a different way. Most people, when they get around to actually formulating a question, they already know the right answer. Sometimes they just don't like the right answer. But anyway, so when I was a child, even a very young child, I didn't know that all families didn't sit around at Christmas and Thanksgiving and tell each other's fortunes. And so I learned very young to be able to do that too. Everybody in the family did though. And I'm an Aquarius. My birthday's coming right up. And Aquarians have to be original. So everybody in the family could tell cards. So when I was about 12 years old, I took the bus to the public library and checked out every book I could find on palmistry and taught myself to read palms. I don't even remember why I picked palmistry, but I did. And I really loved that. I love reading cards and I do that a lot, but I especially love palmistry because it's so very personal. And I'm addicted to hands. I always look at people's hands, whether I tell them I'm looking or not, because your palms reveal your tendencies, your talents, your gifts, kind of your past histories, why you are who you are, the beautiful way you are. And it's always wonderful and good and exciting. Actually, I remember the conversation with our friend Michael. We were at the McMinnville UFO conference, and at that year, which was a while ago, I they gave me a room where I could read palms and stuff at the conference, and so I did it. I didn't know Michael very well. I knew who he and Kathleen were, but not very well. I looked at his palm, and I was absolutely blown away. This guy has so many gifts, can channel energy so spectacularly. I just, wow. And so I was telling him all this stuff. And he said, I have somebody you should meet. We talked about you.
Oh, that's funny.
But it is interesting to look at someone's hand and be able to really, really see who they are. And people like that. And it's really cool then that I can say, man, I see that you're an artist. Wow, you have all the, and they say, well, yeah, I am an artist, or that, gee, music must be one of your things, or look how generous you are, or even the sad things. Look at someone's hands and say, I can tell that your childhood was not easy,
Yeah.
but look how empathetic it's made you, or things like that. And it's really cool for people to be recognized that way. So, and
Yeah.
of course, with hands, you don't even have to have a deck of cards with you. You can just read someone's hand. So it's really
Exactly.
handy, yes. And with all my practices, palm reading, now I do tarot usually instead of playing cards, because I like I like art and they're pretty. And
Yeah.
how should I say? But I'm learning something all the time.
Right.
Just recently, I would tell you. Want to hear an interesting story?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
The first deck of cards I ever encountered was the Rider Waite Smith,
Okay. Yep.
which is true of many people. And this was way back in the 60s. And there are a lot of kind of negative pictures and symbols in those cards. And when I used them, I was going through a very difficult period and I got so many negative cards. My best friend and I were there together one day and we burned them in the fireplace. She still remembers that too. We were just talking about that last summer. Burn those cards. We did. And so then I found, in subsequent years, beautiful decks that I did love and relate to. Well, all this time I have never used Rider Waite, until I was feeding the cats at a friend's house not too long ago. And this one cat, when they're gone for a long time, likes company, and I can't just sit there and pet him just for hours. So
Yeah.
I don't go through their stuff. But I happened to notice on a shelf they had a book about the Rider Waite Tarot, and underneath it was that deck, and I thought, well, they're not going to care. So I pulled a card and I got the High Priestess, and I thought, whoa, that's cool. And I pulled a couple more, and they were so positive. I thought, I'm going to order this stick and look at it again. And then I investigated, Pamela Coleman Smith was the illustrator, and Arthur Waite was the writer, is just a publisher. He's nobody. Arthur Waite was in around 1900. He was a psychic medium, and he channeled that deck. He channeled the major arcana cards. Then he hired, they called her Pixie, Pamela, to illustrate it. But he didn't care about anything but the major arcana, so she channeled the minor arcana.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, and she was an artist. She was actually a fairly famous artist. And Stieglitz, who was Georgia O'Keeffe's husband finally and exhibited her work, was the first person to ever exhibit uh, Pamela Smith's work in his gallery in New York. So that's interesting. I always loved Georgia O'Keeffe too. So I thought, so now I'm kind of into the Rider Waite deck. So that's interesting.
Yeah. But you first checked it out way back when you were
Yeah,
in the '60s. You said.
so if
Yeah.
you have a deck that you don't like, you might go back and think about it again.
Yeah.
But there's like 10 million tarot decks now, or at least 10,000, so
Yeah.
just look till you find one you like.
Yeah. One that speaks to you
This is
and
really weird, Pete, but there is a black and white dog that wants to talk to someone.
a black and white dog. Okay.
It's probably in spirit. Just if someone had a dog once, a black and white spotted, it's a kind of white dog with black spots, and I see its paw is bandaged. Someone took care of this dog. They probably rescued it. It wasn't a very attractive dog. It was a
Okay.
mutt. And it's
Okay.
and for some reason, more than relatives, I've been seeing people's dogs. But
Me too.
isn't that weird? All animals. Yes,
Yeah.
this dog wants the person to know. I don't even know if they had this dog for real long, but it came into their lives because they saved it and rescued it and loved it and nurtured it. And the dog wants the person to know, wants to, how should I say, wants a person to realize how beautiful and compassionate they are. I think this person has been going through some hard times lately, maybe doubting themselves, doubting their abilities, doubting something. But this funny black and white dog said, no, you're the kindest person I ever met. And never doubt your kindness and the power of just being kind. So if anyone wants to claim the black and white dog, that's fine. Or maybe many people are thinking about a dog they had or rescued at one time or another that's coming through to remind them.
Yeah.
Because animals are so vulnerable and innocent. Loving them is a great gift to and from.
We are lucky to have them, basically.
Oh, we are.
Um, well, let's go. I'm going to go jump back in the comments a little bit. If anybody, no, that's
Uh,
perfectly fine. That's great. So Kiana Hansen, would love a reading you've done. Much love, and a lot of the stuff we might say it might not be for the person I have the comment on the screen at the moment. So if something is really pulling you, saying, "Oh, that's for me," please comment and say so. So some things I was picking up was firstly is a big all caps exclamation point yes. So Kiana, I don't know if you've been really struggling with one particular big decision or something like that. I get the answer yes. If that makes sense to you, please let us know. I also saw a capital G. I think somebody's name, I'm guessing, or maybe it's what they went by. It was kind of like a nice looking, nicely written G, kind of older style cursive. They don't teach that anymore. And then so a lot of the work I do, for those who aren't familiar with me, is I see a lot of objects in evidential mediumship type stuff. So I was seeing a lot of objects, Kiana, and I think it's for you. And I think that all these objects will point to somebody for you. And so there's this letter G, kind of very nicely written. Then I see kind of like a short like fancy wooden clock you would see on top of a mantle, or I'm guessing this belonged to a certain somebody. And then I'm also seeing like kind of short coffee mugs that are kind of blue. They're solid colors. They're kind of like I don't know what the style is, but it's like a royal blue, and then there's an orange one, and then there's like a red one. It's like a set of these short coffee mugs, and I'm not sure if that is speaking to you or to somebody else, but please let us know if that is for you, if you're still watching. Hopefully you're still watching.
Ask her, Kiana, did someone you loved and worried about pass kind of recently?
Yeah, and go ahead and comment if you're still on here. And if we don't hear from you, we'll move on. But keep those that have showed up to say something, keep those in line here, off to the side. Yeah, let us know. I don't know what the G, you could say, well, that stands for like grandma or grandpa. I don't think so. I think it's someone's first initial. And like kind of some nicer, that wooden clock was kind of nice. It wouldn't have been something maybe you would have seen, or was in this person's house. It was one of their cherished belongings. But the main message there was yes, whatever it is you've been asking, yes, whatever you've been trying to decide is yes. And not hearing back, I'm going to move to our next one here.
I wanted to say it's interesting what Pete was saying about how he sees objects. And a lot of times I'm more of a clairaudient. I hear messages from people, I hear words. I've been trying to improve my clairvoyance, though, Pete. And because it really helps people. Most people are more visual.
Right.
And so one of my daughters, who's an artist, gave me a sketchbook and told me to start just picking up anything and sketching it, whether it's a comb or a leaf or a flower or anything, but just concentrating on details of the visual. And I think that's been helping. So I think that's been helping my clairvoyance. Although I'm
Nice.
still more likely to hear people talking or saying something, or just kind of the entity as a whole kind of comes through. I wanted to relate something about you, though, that just blew me away. That
Uh-oh.
you probably remember it, Ocean Shores, not this last time, but Ocean Shores UFO Summit. 2024, I think, we did a gallery reading.
Yes.
It was a kind of a chaotic event because we wanted a separate room. We wanted to limit the people. They did not give us. They gave us this huge room, and people were walking in and out constantly. And it was in a casino, so every time they went in and out, you could hear the loud live music and all those machines going
Ding,
constantly.
ding, 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 ding.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the first person that came through, Pete writes in a book. He does automatic writing. And he said, did the letter J and Paris mean anything to anybody? And right away, I thought of something. I thought, but that would be really weird if we're doing this together. The message was for me. That isn't fair. It's supposed to be for the audience. So I didn't say anything. So we went on and we did the readings, and they turned out remarkably well considering the environment. But at the very end, you asked, is anybody uh, Jay or Paris, and nobody said anything. So I came up to you as they were leaving, and I said, I really think that message is for me. And one of my primary spirit guides is Jess. And I hadn't really heard from him directly for a while. And you opened your notebook, and there was written in what looked exactly like his penmanship the word Jess. I was totally, blown out of my mind. I even knew what he was telling me. And I thought, wow, my
Yeah.
God. But that was like, sometimes you get these messages or these things come through you that are so specific and so, wow, that spirit
Yeah.
really wanted to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they're trying to come through and you're open to it, then you'll get it. Well,
And
let's.
we were talking, I wanted to say something. We were
Yeah.
talking a little bit before the show about mediumship and how we learn and how should I say? To me, the main characteristic of being a psychic medium is being able to totally get yourself out of the way. And if any of you are attempting mediumship or are practicing mediumship and know that, that's it for me. Just get yourself out of the way and let spirit speak. Let spirit
Yeah.
speak. Even if it sounds ridiculous,
And
you have no idea what it's about. You just say it.
yeah.
And I've come to realize if I say something that is Joanne the normal person or Joanne the mother, Joanne the nurse, rather than what spirit wants me to say, I literally get just flicked. And spirit is saying, nope, that is not the message. You're not keeping your channel clear. And so, but it takes a lot of just letting go and letting
Yeah.
spirit
And
and
that's
not
hard. It's hard to do.
it.
It is a challenge for that. Well, we got one here. It'd be kind
Oh,
of interesting. In KWZ Jones and
oh,
lost my grandma last Sunday. We laid her to
oh,
rest last Wednesday, and
oh.
sorry for your loss. And so they're asking to can we connect to her. So let me know if you get anything
Was
for
she a good cook?
KWZ.
Did she bake cake? I'm smelling spices. Yummy.
You you
Frosting.
know you know what's interesting is I'm thinking about apples for some reason. And so, KWZ, comment if anything makes sense to you or if anybody else sounds right. But uh, when I think to try and connect and try to bring her forward, and anybody on here that's hoping for a reading, be thinking about the person that you'd like to connect with, or that you'd like to hear from for a certain situation, sort of thing. Hear their laugh. That can help bring them forward. Like, hear their laugh, or what did their hug feel like, or when you held their hand, what did that feel like? Sort of that can help bring them forward. And I don't know if this is your grandmother, but I'm getting something with like her upper back, lower neck, like a lot of issues there. Um, and like almost like she's kind of have to have her head kind of hunched over, had a hard time keeping her head up, so getting some sort of issue there. And just a really
Oh, okay.
super kind soul. Yeah, she made cakes and candy
Oh,
apples.
oh.
Um, I'm not sure what the apples meant, other than maybe that's a memory connection between you and your grandma. Or maybe she couldn't eat apples and she loved them and always like made sure you ate yours. I don't know where that came from for me, or um, it's unclear yet as to why that is. But I just get that she had a lot of pain in her like lower neck, kind of like where her neck meets your back, your shoulders, sort of thing.
Cheryl goes, my arms are very thin when she died. Sometimes it's hard to get spirits who have just crossed over because they hadn't settled, so it's hard for them to come back. Sometimes
Yeah,
I hear from my
and
mom for 20 years, and then I
yeah,
heard from her a lot. Sometimes it takes, but sometimes they're still close enough.
yeah, it's all in their own time. I think when as they're ready.
Yeah,
And another comment was, yeah, she made
make cakes.
cakes.
Smelling, that's I can, sometimes you can smell stuff. So, oh my God, that smells good. Her kitchen, I want one of those cakes.
And so I'm trying to think if I can think of somebody that she kind of resembles to describe, but I see this older woman, and here's another comment. Thanks for sharing,
Yeah.
and being vulnerable here. Thank you for that. But I see something about, like, I just see her hand and she's like pointing like um I mean, the message is, don't look back. um yeah, just keep moving forward. Don't look back. Don't sit on what you can't fix. So I don't know what that means, but I she's like telling you to, like, you need to, kind of almost like leans in, like she's like, you better just keep moving forward. Don't you look back. So if there's stuff, from, recent times or your past that kind of, I have a feeling that just keeps coming up and biting you. Things from your past. And like, she's like, turn it around, keep looking forward. That's her message to you. Um,
I think when she was very close to death, one of the aides actually hugged her and took her in their arms. They were very loving people where she was. And every time the aide hugged her, she was really hugging, the grandma was really hugging you. She loved you very, very much and still does. I hope that
yeah.
you feel those little arms around you.
Yes.
You
And,
feel
and
discouraged or whatever, you just feel those arms.
yeah. Yeah, just keep plugging forward. Like, don't hang up on the past. Oh, they say I do music. Me too, fellow
Yeah, me
musician. Right
too.
on. Well, just keep looking forward. I think that's what the
Mhm.
it's like she's partly there. I think she's kind of going through some sort of process of, you know, uh, being in the light and not being in the light, the proverbial light. It's kind of, maybe would she have reason to um, be worrying about her children? Um, like maybe she's trying to make sure somebody is okay before she goes to the light and becomes a part of the light. Um, oh, I do feel her. Yes. Um, Thank you for commenting. But I think the overarching message is to keep plugging forward. Don't look back now. Like, don't look back. Maybe you really leaned on her, is what I'm getting. Uh, some in your family really lean on each other, and she was a good person to lean on. So lean forward. There's your message. Okay.
I'm getting a message for somebody else that does music too. They're supposed to play the keyboard. The keyboard. I don't think they necessarily are a keyboard artist, but they want somebody to try to play the piano or keyboard or just they want to
Okay.
sing along.
Okay.
Music is a wonderful thing. I love music. It makes everyone happy.
Music is one of the best things ever. It's so good for us. Whether it riles us up or relaxes us, it's a good thing. And it's energy.
I think I know who this is for.
Okay.
She's speaking to Ryan, but I don't think that's. I think the person will know who they are.
Okay. If any that makes
Her
sense
name
to
is
anybody.
Betty, and she always wanted to sing and was never given the chance. So she wants you to play the keyboard so she can sing along.
Well, here you go. K Weezy says
Well,
he's
you too.
thinking
Come
about
here.
buying a
It might be for you
keyboard.
too. It might be for you too.
Yeah. So, yeah. Take that. Oh my goodness. Good friend from a long time ago, Rob. Music is the best. Hey, Rob. Um, okay. Well, let's keep going here. So, yeah, if something makes sense for somebody, please chime in. Um,
Well,
and
we
go
were
ahead.
talking too about. I was starting to tell about my grandma, who was a psychic medium, and I learned from her. But also, I learned to be a medium because so many people in my family died when I was a child. And it was, my dad died when I was 10. My sister died before I was born, actually, but she was always, people still talked about her. She was a presence in our lives. And my grandfather was in a terrible automobile accident, died. We went through a lot of this when I was quite young. And how should I say, we were a very spiritual family. And although, of course, it was terribly sad and often economically devastating, still people the spirits of dead people were still included in our lives, in our conversations, and it was not weird for us to talk to them. And that's, I think, since it came so naturally to me as a child. After my dad died, he came and tucked me in and said goodnight for like 3 months after he died, and I did not think that was weird, and my mother did not think that was weird. And so it's sorry, it's easier to accept stuff like that. And and a lot of you might have had that experience and just not. It comes so naturally and so quietly sometimes. All of us expect some big, elaborate something, but really it's the little tiny voices that are the most powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paula.
Um, so here's another one for Paula. This is like rapid fire here.
Oh, people like to hear from
um,
spirit. They want to hear from their loved ones or angels.
yeah. Who wouldn't? So I'm just gonna go with what's coming in and just say it. And if that makes sense for you, Paula, please comment, or if anybody else. And Joanne, I need your help on this first part. I get the 8 of spades. I see the number 8 in the spades. What
Oh, that
is
makes perfect sense for what I was getting. Eight is
okay?
always about courage. Spade is about business or something. Well, I'll just say it too. I think you had a business at one time, or maybe a profession, and it didn't quite work out. And you were discouraged for a long time, and now you have an opportunity to do something. I don't know if it's the same or different, but another opportunity, and you're a little hesitant, and it's absolutely the time to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting nearing the end of something. Like you're getting near the end of something that's a challenge that you're kind of near. You're getting ready to finish that, and then and I'm getting this from a woman, and
Yes.
I'm gonna try and show this. Now, audience, please forgive me. I am not an artist. I'm not a visual artist. by any stretch of the means here, but it was. I'm seeing. I don't know if you can
Wow.
see that. It's a bracelet, I think,
What jewelry.
and it's almost like a flower shape with a stone in the middle, but it's very thin. So it's like very thin border around. It's kind of like a non-concentric ring that's around this jewel that's in the middle, and I feel like it's a bracelet. I don't know if that's anything for you, Paula, or somebody else here. I think it's associated with this woman that's where I get the 8 of spades from. So if any of that makes sense, let me know. And if we don't here, we'll just keep going here.
I
We
do as
had
best as we can. Yes. Any-
So Charlene had commented this, just what you're talking about. People in your family. She says her grand was a medium and a great grandmother, etc. Kind of runs in the family, right? Rob, isn't music the way everyone can connect no matter our differences?
Much of
Absolutely,
that. Yep,
Rob.
absolutely.
That is an energy that we can all connect to for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and Charlene was saying I can take that. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Um, okay. Okay, Paula, here we go. We got a comment here. She says, yes, on both. Dream of opening a crystal store. Not sure about bracelet. Okay.
Open the crystal store.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's where this message is, I think.
It doesn't matter. The money will come. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and if you want to add any other comments, Paula, please do. I
Do
think
you
this
read
would.
crystals? You read through crystals? You
Um,
use it for
yeah,
healing.
yeah,
Healing. How about use them for healing, Paula?
yeah. There you go. Um,
I kind of saw a hand with crystals in it.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Business.
and Charlene's saying her
Wow.
grand
Okay.
had a bracelet like that. Okay, so we're getting mixed.
Okay.
So the woman I'm getting that I think has this bracelet, um, I think she's showing me how she wants to be seen, which is long, straight, like longer, straight hair, very straight hair. Um, Paula says she uses crystals for healing.
Good. Good. Yeah. Very powerful.
Yes. And Kay Weezy, can I thank y'all for that message? Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in.
You were talking about the way the ghost wanted to be seen with that long, kind of pale looking hair to me, like white made gray.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I could see her too. One of it was Jason Carpenter. I think it was the 2023 Fort Gamble Ghost Conference. He was the lead speaker, and his topic was "There are no fat ghosts." I laughed so hard, but but it's but his point was that ghosts our dead relatives or friends often appear as they wish to be seen. Nobody
Absolutely.
wants to look like they were at the end when they were old and sick and suffering and dying. No one wants to look like that. They want to look like when they were 25 and hot. And so sometimes when ghosts come through, they look like that, but it's really your grandmother or something. So it's the spirits, not necessarily the vision. And I have found that to be true. I tend to see ghosts' hair. That's one visual I do get. I think hair has always been the thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little kid, I had hair I could sit on, and hair has always been kind of like an identity thing. I have short hair, but I didn't used to.
And she says that, okay, so her grand had long hair.
Hmm.
And so I also see this woman, it's like she's,
Oh yeah.
hang on, Mike. Um, I see her, it's like she's sitting by a bridge in like a city. Um, there's like lots of buildings, and like sitting next to this bridge, there's a lot of, it's like, I see a lot of like dark blue painted buildings, or they just kind of look dark blue, but she's sitting next to this river. Um, like that was her, like a favorite spot of hers. Like she goes back to there. Is Charlene? Does that make sense? Are you saying yes to that about a bridge? Um, and if you know this spot, I think she's showing me that to go there to connect with her. It's by a bridge, and I like I said that I see all these kind of like um, kind of dark blue painted buildings. That's the only way I can describe it. They're like old looking buildings, or it looks old. Um, does that make sense? Someone's saying I think this is for Charlene. Okay. Um, okay, she gets it. Wherever you know this place is, yeah, there's lots of old stuff around. Lots of old buildings around. It's an old city. Uh, yeah, and I see her kind of waving, motioning. I'm
What
seeing
nationality was she?
I'm seeing needlepoint work too. Like long bony fingers
Was she,
pushing a needle
was she an
through.
immigrant, or else she had a real strong identity with her heritage, maybe?
Maybe let's see. She said she used to live in Wales. Oh,
Hmm?
well, that's an old part of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's dark blue painted buildings, like where the roof's a different color, but it's I think of like brownstones, like in a big city, the brownstone type buildings, but it's all kind of like this darker blue. Um,
Have you gone
okay,
there? You to
me?
Wales? No, to Charlene. To Wales or to that part of the world at all? Maybe you're supposed to do that.
Oh, and she says you have very strong ancestors,
Okay,
all mediums.
interesting.
So I'm not getting a specific message other than I see this woman doing this, like
Well,
waving.
yeah, it's her identity. Yeah, I think so. I was thinking it was a cultural identity, but it's probably the mediumship identity. She wants you to be sure you honor that and do it. Well, keep on, try again, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, because
So
I
yeah.
want to say though, even if my grandmother had never been a medium, and I have some friends that are wonderful mediums that have no relatives that did anything spiritual. How should I say? Don't be discouraged if you feel the call to do that, to deliver a message, to any kind of psychic spiritual work. It's all blessed, and it doesn't have to. It's nice if you're in your heritage, and probably makes it easier for sure. But you can do it anyway. You can do
Yeah.
it anyway. It's your calling. You'll be called to it. And you don't know sometimes what your long, long past was. Or even some of our like grandmas, the other grandma who was very religious never would have admitted that she received messages from the dead. But so maybe people have that gift and don't want to talk about it or were taught not to. So, yeah. But yes, I think you're supposed to pursue that, Charlene, very definitely. I want to talk
Yes.
to Michael Beers a little bit too before
Okay.
we run out of time. Michael, he mentioned, I know his grandson passed, and his son has passed. A lot of talk about heartache. And how should I say? Yeah, I know. And their sister too. About the grandson, I got a message a while ago. It wasn't specifically about your grandson, but it was kind of a similar situation. And the message very clearly was, it isn't the length of love that counts. You can know a spirit for just a few months and still have that soul make a huge, huge impact on your life. He will be your grandson always. even if he just blessed us for a very little while. And like I said, he was such a fighter. That baby, just from reading your Facebook posts and time, he never should have survived a minute outside the wound. And he survived for months. What a brave little spirit that was supposed to be in the world. I'm sure he inspired all the people that took care of him, all the people that read out about him, even on Facebook. That little fighter, my goodness. And I guess the message I'm getting is it is such a gift to be alive. And some days when we're suffering and we look at the state of the world and stuff, we think, oh my God. No, it's a gift. Every day here on this beautiful earth is a gift to those around us, a gift, to ourselves. And that little guy, tell us his name again. It was a really cool name. Is it Wyatt?
It's,
Never mind. No, that's another. He was a trooper. What was his name?
as soon as he comments. Paula, while we wait for Mike to comment the name, she says, for the crystal shop, it's a dream. She just doesn't have the money to do it. And with that 8 of spades that I think I was getting for you, um, you're nearing the end of times where your mentality about it's going to change. Maybe I think it's through networking. There's going to be someone who's really going to step in to help, and so jump on the chance when it hits you. So don't lose the dream. Don't lose the dream, Paula. And the Beckett was the name. That's a great name. Yeah. I'm just sorry for all your
And
losses.
it does seem that they come that way, though. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it often is not isolated, and a number of people we love are in spirit. It's very, yes, you do got to do that, Charlene. Do it.
Yeah. Do
Right?
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Michael, yes, blessing this boy. Got to know, though, little Beckett and stuff, and these souls never leave us. It's very hard when they're not in physical reality with us in our time and space. You can't see them grow up and this and that. And,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean his spirit still isn't around doing all sorts of things.
Well, fortunately, with Mike and his gifts, you can
You know
communicate.
that.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, and maybe you can help those who've passed more now. You can maybe help them just as they try to help you. And it's not always spirit helping us. We can help spirit also. And so, yeah, it's you. I would say you can help them now. You can really help them now with them being in spirit. And Deborah, a very nice comment. Sorry for your loss, Michael. Sending support and comfort. This is this community on Sacred Spiral Network, I've just noticed, is just great, and everyone's very supportive and very kind to each other. And so to the audience, thank you guys for the support you show for each other in this community. And Michael I wrote him some
Oh,
songs and still play them for him. Absolutely. Yep,
and one of the
that's
themes of this
wonderful.
whole evening has been music and the importance of music. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you still
Yeah,
sing those songs to him. He hears them. He hears
yeah,
them.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
probably singing along there.
music is such a powerful thing, and I think that's, Mike, why you were drawn to get into playing music and writing music. And good question here. Vivian's asking, how do we help spirit? Do you want to start there, and then I can pick up after you, Joanne? How can we help? How do we help spirit?
Well, nobody knows exactly what happens after people die, granted, but a lot of us have evidence of spirits after they've died, and I certainly have. And how should I say? But people don't always die in the best possible places in their head or in their body, and it takes them a while to even know they're dead. in
Yeah.
spirit. And sometimes there's like I was thinking like with Michael, kind of, but the message I got from your sister, I don't know. I think she said, "I forgive you. Do you forgive me?" And sometimes things are left unsaid, or there've been a difficult relationship, and still got to work things out. And spirits are a little unsettled because they feel like, the whole spiritual aspect of their life on earth maybe wasn't as perfect as it could be. And just by always telling them that we love them, even if they're in spirit, is an important thing. Tell them how important they were to us, how much they really did affect in our lives in a positive way, even if we didn't always get along with them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
And in my experience, or just what I've seemed to, I guess what I've gone through, doing mediumship and how we can help spirit is, I memories, right?
yeah,
And um, my wife Molly, was on this thought, and it got me into this thought and everything. It goes for people once too. And if we think about, us with that human element still, you've got, you start thinking about memories. And that's how I think we can help, because I tell people all the time, clients, for readings, that that old piece of jewelry you got in a box in a closet collecting dust, like, you don't have to make a shrine for it, but if you were to bring it out and set it out, and you see it as you walk by in the morning or the afternoon, and you acknowledge, you remember the person it belonged to, that helps them, I think, certainly find their way around, find where they need to go, a lot through memories. And so people connect. We connect in life. We connect so much with people, places, events, animals, whatever. We connect so much with things in our, so in our memories, I think on the other side, we tend to go back to those things, whether they were good or bad. We can go back to those memories. And even somebody with, dementia or Alzheimer's, I think, can be restored once they go to the proverbial light. And their spirit guides often are there to catch them after they pass the physical form. And they catch them and take them where they need to go to be restored. And then, they've got their memories. And so I guess long-windedly answer to Vivian's question, at least from my perspective, is I think we can help through remembering. We help through memories. Those objects that are passed down to us are important. Those objects have memories tied to these loved ones who have passed. And so I think they come back to those things. It's a way for them to find their loved ones, because if their stuff is passed down to their loved ones, they want to go to that object to find their loved ones there.
do we have time for
And
one more comment, or are we done?
yeah, almost done here.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was just, when you were talking about that, I was thinking of, I had a patient who was very close to death. And I didn't really know her story because I got her when she was pretty close to death. But reading her chart, and she did tell me her husband had been in prison because he was driving and fell asleep at the wheel and crossed a center line and hit a car and killed a mother and daughter. And that, of course, was horrible and affected their whole life. And he lost his license and lost his job and all this. And she said, when I cross over, do you think I can find those people to tell them I'm sorry? And I said, I am sure when you cross over, you can find those people and tell them you're sorry. And it was very shortly after that that she passed away. And she was kind of smiling. And I think that absolutely did happen. I think she went to the other side and was able to tell the people how sorry she was for what
Oh my
happened.
goodness. Wow.
Uh,
That's
but I think I also told her in this life she could also tell those spirits she was sorry, and I'm sure her husband had too. That was a terrible accident; it wasn't
yeah.
intentional, but still,
Yeah.
So it's amazing how we could never forget all the amazing ways we connect with people that are already crossed over. Reach
Yeah.
out to them, ask them, talk to them, ask them to talk to you, ask them to let you find a bracelet of theirs, or find a feather, or find a stone, or hear a piece of music in the grocery store that reminds you of them. or whatever it takes to connect. They're there. They're there for us, and
Well,
just and believe
it's
you experience.
interesting, saying that because Paula was commenting, Spirit trying to give me a message. I get loud ringing in my ears. And she made a doctor's appointment just to be sure. Um, I mean, it could be if that is how your body perceives energy, or and receives it, like that could be. I would say, do you notice that often when you feel like you're getting a message, or if you're feeling a loved one around that's passed? Do you get that ringing? Like maybe that's a physical tell for you that energy is around you, and that's just how your body is reacting to it. So pay attention to that. If you're getting a physical thing like a ear ringing, can you tie that to you having feelings of being surrounded by somebody, or that there's energy there with you? Here's a fun comment from Abby Jane. She said, "Hello, Pete and Joanne. Last time I saw you both was upstairs at the Masonic Lodge
Oh
a
yes,
couple of years ago, and Joanne gave me one of the best compliments of her life." that's
I'm glad. Yes,
that's
sure, you're
great.
an amazing person, Abby Jane. Bless your heart.
Yeah, yeah.
That was fun. I love the Masonic Hall. That
It,
was a great meeting.
that was Paula says she does get it a lot. Well, maybe try like noting. It'd be best to write it down each time you get that. What are you? Other things are you? Do you feel like you're getting messages? Do you feel something? Does your stomach feel funny when you get that ear ringing? Like can you identify more than just the ear ringing to tie that to getting a message? Because that may be your, like I said, your physical tell. Jason Taylor's all saying, I feel that and hear ringing in locations. Um, you know, and Jason, that's probably like, one of the ways your body picks up on energy. We're all built to feel it. It's just how do we feel it, and
Well, you do
where does
find
it
it.
affect us?
Heart
Yeah,
rate goes up, and my
yeah,
heart rate always goes up about 10 points in the Walker Ames house. It does. No,
yeah.
seriously.
Second
And I've heard
floor.
other people say that too.
Yeah, I think it happens to me too. I definitely get that "whoa" sort of feeling. Rob, yeah, love hearing all this. Might have to get reading sometime. Good seeing you, Rob, even though through a comment. It's good friend of mine from way back in the day. Amazing drummer that guy is.
Wow.
Um, yeah, that guy's awesome drummer. Okay, well, I mean, we're out of time. These things always go by so dang quick. If
Thank you, everybody. We could feel such good energy. My goodness, he's right. This is what a wonderful community. Wow.
Yeah, what I mean, yeah, just such a nice community. I'm so honored to be a part of it. The Sacred Spiral Network. This is just one show of many shows, and so I'm betting most people on here right now are watching the other shows as well. I hope each of you got something, from tonight. I'm sorry we can't get to everybody all the time during these 1 hour shows. You can go to joannethepsychic.com if you'd like to book a reading with Joanne and learn, and just to keep up with her and her husband Jim and all the different conferences and events that they do and present at. And so sorry, not to get to everybody, but we appreciate, the
I'm
participation
Mary.
tonight.
Love you.
Yeah, thanks, Mary,
She's one of my psychic sisters. I met her at Port Gamble, and we realized we were sisters.
yeah. Brian Blackwood saying we've got to talk, Joanne. So sounds like there's some homework there. And Ren, thanks for
Yes,
watching.
thank you.
Phyllis, sorry I couldn't get to you. You were asking for a reading, and everybody, always do our best. And I'm going to put in the comments here real quick before we go the upcoming event that we're both doing, Art of Investigation, coming up. So I just put the link in the comments there if you want to check it out. And Carolyn, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yes.
I mean, seriously, this community is really great. And just so much appreciate everybody for the support. And again, my next show is going to be February 18th, and I'll be introducing a guest soon. And Joanne, I leave the show with a quote. Before, I used to do that as well, but I have a different quote now.
Okay.
And so I always leave the show with this, and you can hang on afterwards. But I want to just again say thank you very much. And this quote is from my lovely wife, Molly. The earth is heavy, but the universe is light. When met with stress or sorrow or even overwhelming joy, know that today is the history of tomorrow. Accept it for what it is and move forward into the brightness of the next moment. We all need a little bit of that today. I know, right? Wow. We all need, that sort of stuff right now. There's a lot of turmoil out in the world, and step into the light. Today's the history of tomorrow. And Gloria K is saying healing energy. So folks, please send out some healing energy for Gloria and Daniel K. For good mental health. So please send energy out. Everybody on here, send out good energy to everybody. Today's the history of tomorrow. We'll see you next time. And thanks, Joanne, and thanks to everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Thanks so much. And we'll see you on February 18th will be the next show. So we'll see you then. Take care, everybody.